Vladimir Putin says he's open to a ceasefire with Ukraine, but he's not ready to accept all the terms that are on the table. As President Trump admits, he is feeling good about it.
We have people talking in Russia. We have representatives over there, Steve Witkoff and others, and they're in very serious discussions. We know where we are with Ukraine, and we are getting good signals outside of Russia as to where we are with Russia. And hopefully they'll do the right thing. It's really humanity. We're talking about humanity. We're not talking about the money.
And there are indications that the president could be talking to Vladimir Putin sometime today. So how does the White House finalize this deal, move it forward? Fox News senior strategic analyst General Jack Keane is with us now. General, your thoughts about what emerged from Jeddah and the initial response from Vladimir Putin?
Well, first of all, Putin's response is a good step forward in the sense that, you know, he agrees that the fighting should end. He just believes he's concerned about the long-term aspect of it. And the reality is they want to get after the root causes. The root causes is pure fiction on his part. He believes the fact that Ukraine was looking to the West in terms of economic relationship with the EU and also a political and security relationship with NATO is at the bottom of the cause of the war. Ukraine's an independent, sovereign country. Let's face it for what it really is and has been, you know, since the collapse of the Soviet Union. They have a right to move in the direction they see is best for their country, number one. So that is, he'll stick to his ground on that, but that is easy to defeat. The other thing, he's immediately concerned with that the 30-day ceasefire will favor the Ukrainians because they'll be able to rearm and reposition in the Kursk area, which is the part of Russia that Ukraine has been occupying for almost 7 months, which is quite stunning in itself. That hasn't happened since World War II. Russia is close to taking that and driving the Ukrainians out of it, and I think he's going to delay this until that is accomplished. We got to get into the details of this. We always knew that the Russians are going to fight hard. They're hardline bargainers for sure. He's talking nice with President Trump, as is President Trump to Putin. But we got some tough negotiations going forward. A piece of good news is that on March the 12th, the Trump team has removed the exemptions that were permitting the EU and others to sell oil, to buy Russian oil. And that is absolutely significant. This has been quietly done, but Putin certainly is aware of that. And it just goes to show you that the Trump team is going to play tough with Putin and at the same time talk nice to him publicly.
So, General, some other things we could say that Vladimir Putin came back and said this. We want the world to recognize the 4 regions we took from Ukraine. Those are my words, not theirs. The 4 regions they occupy. They also want the Ukrainian army to be limited. They want an easing of the sanctions against the West. They want clarification on if they stop now, are the Ukrainians going to stay in Kursk, which is part of their country? Your thoughts about what they just threw out there?
Well, certainly there's no way that we or the Ukrainians could agree to demilitarizing Ukraine and bringing it down to 85,000 troops. That would make them vulnerable to a Russian takeover. For sure. I mean, that's just the reality of it. In terms of the four provinces, oblasts is what they call them. Look, Zelensky has already said he's willing to give up territory, some territory that Russia occupies, but they don't own all 4 of those oblasts. They own portions of them, the majority in Luhansk and Donetsk, but in Zaporizhia and Kherson, they don't even own the majority of it. So that's a non-starter. And what Zelensky is saying, he doesn't want Russia to be able to make any part of Ukraine a permanent part of Russia. He wants a deal similar to how we ended World War II, where the Soviet Union got East Germany under their supervision, and the West had West Germany.
Right.
But they didn't officially own that, so that diplomatically at a later date, you could return to the normal boundaries and a normal sovereignty, obviously, which has taken place. That's what Zelensky wants, and I think that's something that we should fight for. But yes, we got a lot of detailed work here to do, but the door has been open, and that is the significant step forward. the Russians are willing to talk the details, and we'll see if they're able to move away from some very hard positions they have right now. That remains to be seen.
Yeah, General, fascinating. I would love for you to be in those negotiations. No one knows it better than you. He also thanked Trump, and he said U.S. partners. So tone matters if you want to get to the same objective. Thanks so much, General. I appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian.